Well, welcome to another episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. All right, the car market feels insane right now because it is. And there's a lot of people asking the question, how much should I spend on a car? It's a question we all ask at some point in our lives because most people have a car, right? And it's something you have to upgrade or you have to change depending on your family. There's a lot of reasons why people need a new car. And we live in a culture that just celebrates cars, even though technically what they're for is to get you to point A to point B. That's about it. So when you look at it in a really utilitarian way, it's literally all you need to go here to here, home to the grocery store, home to work, home to a friend's house and back. Like, it's just getting you from one place to the other. But it's not that simple because, well, there's a whole experience that happens. You know, when you get into a car, it smells good, usually, if it's newer. It looks pretty. There's all this new technology, and people fall in love with what's going on the inside. They fall in love with the brand, what's on the outside, and it starts to become people's identity. You look at a nice car and you think, wow, they must be doing really good. Or you see a car, it's like breaking down and has duct tape and like a bungee cord holding the bumper on, and you're like, oh, okay, you know. I mean, people like judge people by their cars. It's crazy. So I want you to get to a place emotionally, but also financially, where you can buy a car guilt-free, where you know, yes, I'm being responsible in so many ways. And well, the Ramsey way will do that. So let's say if you are in baby steps 1 through 3, which is baby step 1 is a $1,000 emergency fund, baby step 2 is getting out of debt, and baby step 3 is a fully funded emergency fund. When you're in these baby steps and you need a car, you really, really have to think through, okay, what is a need versus a want? Because again, yeah, a lot of people need a car, again, what I just explained, to get places, but a lot of wants start to creep in. So if you're on baby steps 1 through 3, you want a reliable used car. And yes, there is such a thing as a reliable used car. I will tell people things like, hey, you can get a $5,000 car. Is it the best car in the world? No, it's not the best car in the world, but it'll take you from point A to point B. And you know, you get a Honda Civic, you get a Toyota Camry, you get these cars that have long track records, you know they're gonna run forever, and you get an inexpensive one while you're, again, grinding out, while you're getting out of debt, and you're saving up for an emergency fund. This is sacrifice time, people. This is sacrifice time, and that includes your car, okay? And people hate this because if they have to upgrade or if their car is not reliable and they're having to buy a new one in this process, or they just want one, they're like, oh, but I don't want like that car because that's not me. You know, I'm not a 94 Honda Civic. No, you're not a 94 Honda Civic. No. But in the moment, in the next 2 years, you might be for a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay. Our cars do not define us. So you really have to get that emotionally, especially when you're in baby steps 1 through 3. So once you eliminate debt, though, you have no debt, you have a fully funded emergency fund, then you're in a place with a really solid financial foundation where you can say, okay, I'm at this place, again, no debt, I have money in the bank, and I'm gonna be on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, which is funding retirement, kids' college, and paying the house off early. You're in this place, if that's where you are, then you can afford to step up. You can even afford to get some wants. You know, you're in a season of life that you are financially good, you can save up, you can pay cash for a car, and it's kind of is an upgrade, and I think that's awesome. Just remember, keep it within reason, but however much you decide to spend in those baby steps, that is totally up to you. Now, I do encourage still buying used cars until you have a net worth of $1 million, but you can buy a car that is 2 years old or older. That's always a great thing because when you buy a brand new car, the value just like, it goes down. Now, different percentages, people say different things, but anywhere from like 9 to 12% of the value just leaves immediately. And that's what a new car costs you. So while you're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, I think it's a great thing to say, no, I mean, we're gonna get a step up of a used car, and it's great. There are some great used cars out there. You can get some nicer ones, and it's great, it's awesome. Now, one of the guidelines we do talk about is to keep your vehicles within 50% of your annual income. So again, you don't have to live in that sacrificial life forever like you were in baby steps 1 through 3. Then you were living on rice and beans, you were doing nothing but paying off debt and saving. When you're beyond that, you can enjoy some of your money. Now, if you're on baby steps 7, or you have $1 million net worth in baby steps 4 through 6, you have permission to buy a brand new car. Yep, once you have $1 million net worth, that's when you can take the hit of a brand new car. When you drive it off the lot, it's okay. Financially, it's not gonna shatter you, and it's great. New cars are fun. We bought a used BMW probably about 5 years ago. We bought, fast forward, this has been now a year and a half, our van, our Honda Odyssey. I talk about that van a lot because it is fabulous. And we bought it new. Yes, we did. We traded in an SUV for it, and that hurt a little bit. Yep, we traded in a cool mom car for a van. But I took the humble pill, and it's great. It's so great. Now, when Charles goes to kindergarten, my van was a 5-year plan. So when he goes off into that first day kindergarten, I'm going back to a cool mom SUV. So we'll see what I get there. I really want a Tesla, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. But we all have a dream of a new car, and that's great. Kind of your dream car, think about it. It's not a bad thing. Cars are not a bad thing, but we want to be smart. Now, last thing that is so important is the cost of your car isn't just what you pay for it when you buy it, okay? Think about it. You have to buy insurance for it, yes, and an independent insurance agent can help you get the right coverage. Getting car insurance quotes from our pros is really easy because they shop around for you. Our endorsed local providers can help make sure that you have the right amount of insurance that will not break the bank. So to get all of this information, text AUTO to 33789 to connect with a professional that you can trust. Now, no matter what phase of life or baby step you're in, remember this. Always take your time. A car is not like a knee-jerk reaction where you just think one day, I kind of want a car, and you just go buy one. No. Just take your time. It's a pretty big purchase, okay? Also, do your research. Look around, especially if you're buying a used car, even if you're buying a new car. There's different models, there's different pricing. Figure out and actually have the research. Don't just walk onto a car lot and let the car salesman, woo you into something. Know what you want ahead of time and just take the time to research. Also, get a third-party opinion on the car you're considering. So if one of your friends maybe drives this kind of car, or you know somebody who's really good in this area of life, they know cars and all of this, ask people, kind of get some opinions just to kind of figure out, okay, is this a smart purchase? And then always ask yourself, is this a need or a want? And again, depending on where you are in the baby steps, depends on what's okay or not. So some of you, it's a need. And you just need what you need. You need to get to point A to point B. That's it. Nothing else. Some of you, there's some wants, and you're at the place financially where you can do that, and that's great. Also, you need to ask, is wanting a new car okay in your season of life? Run the numbers. Figure out, is this a smart decision? But whatever you do, you guys, whatever you do, do not take out a car loan or a car lease. In fact, leasing a car, according to Money Magazine, is the most expensive way to finance a vehicle. Do not lease a car, and then also don't go get a car loan, okay? Out of all debts that's out there, from credit card, student loan, personal, all of it, a car loan is the one that I'm like, oh no, because you're borrowing money on something that's going down in value. You're paying more for the car at the end because of interest for something that is going down. It's like going in opposite directions. You're paying more for it to go down, and you're like, no. At least with a mortgage, your house, knock on wood, it's going up in value. You're paying interest on it and all that, but it's going up in value. Even student loans, we hate them. We hate student loans so much. But you have a piece of paper that's supposed to say, I can make something of myself out in the world. The knowledge I gained in this hopefully is going to allow me to make more money out in the real world. That doesn't always happen, but that's the hope and the problems, right? But a car loan, makes no sense. Drives me nuts. Well, I hope these car tips will help you on the road to building wealth, because that is what I want for you. But I'm curious, what kind of cars are you driving right now? What kind of car are you driving while you're getting out of debt with your emergency fund? What's your dream car? Comment below. It's always a fun conversation. Because again, just know I want you to take control of your money and create a life you love.